Good day, everybody. Bringing you another pretty cool key. We're doing a plus 15 Ara-Kara in this one, and we hit another 10 milli overall, which is super cool. Ara-Kara seems to be a really good key to get this done, but I'm running almost the same build. I've just changed one of my talents out from Icy Onslaught into Runic Overflow. I don't know why. I just wanted to try it out for a bit because I like the passive nature of it. I like the fact it doesn't change my gameplay or anything. It's kind of cool. Anyway, so we're going to do this big pull here. Got quite lucky today. The pugs I've been in today have been really good, actually. This was a really good group. But locking down the Trilling Attendant here as I burst, sending one in power, then consuming Killer Machine, and then power, consume, and power, consume as much as I can. While in between interrupting and CCing shite. But yeah, this key went very well. The timing on cooldowns was pretty decent, and first boss actually went really well too. One of the first groups I've been in that's just done the first boss so well, so good. Anyway, props to anybody if you're in this key and you watch this video. Anyway, so I feel like Frost DK at the moment, I can't tell if this class itself is super strong, is ridiculously good, or if the fact I've played it for maybe like 2 months before everybody else on the PTR means that I'm just pumping with the numbers at the moment. It does help that I've got very good gear. I'm very well optimized for Deathbringer because obviously it's Deathbringer, you want crit and mastery. And I have quite a lot of that. The only haste I've got on my gear really is the haste I'm forced to take because I have a massive myth track tier on my gloves. Have to take those even though I've got haste burst on. It's not great, but that's fine. I'm finding in keys, I'm doing a lot more damage. Well, not a lot more damage, but I'm definitely feeling a lot better in keys when I'm just stacking up the crit as much as possible, even to go as far as into my diminishing return. The Sims say you shouldn't, and the Sims are saying that you should put stats into mastery and things like this, but honestly, I don't really trust it very much. I really like just going full into as much crit as physically possible. If I can trade something else to have crit on it, I definitely will. That isn't to say that I will purposely gimp my mastery for that crit. In that case, it's not really very good. I'm sitting at something like I think I'm like 80% mastery. I fucking don't know actually. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but I know that I'm at about 33% crit. And in Mythic keys, I am in Mythic high keys here. I'm running a pacemaker because I don't fancy playing the antenna game in moments of high pressure. It's just one extra thing that's just going to make me do a teeny tiny fraction more damage, and maybe not even so in AoE if I don't get the procs. But at least with the pacemaker, I know when the pacemaker is coming. And the pacemaker actually has a bit more value in Mythic Plus because it might proc here. You see it's procced here, we've extended it. We've got 30 seconds maybe until it will proc again. So I don't know if I'll have it on this pillar window, but I know I will probably have it in my next burst. At some point during this burst window, it will proc. And if I cast breath, it will proc again. It will be up during that breath burst. But I actually don't think I pressed breath here, so that doesn't really. It's not a really good scenario or example to give you guys. But yeah, we're slowly climbing. Mythic Plus score. We're at 3.2k right now. I think I've got like 415s, maybe 415, maybe yeah, 415s done. Just have to get Operation Dawn. What's the other one? Halls. And there's one more missing that I don't know. That I forgot. That I need 15. I find that the weekend, honestly, people blast. There's a lot more stuff going on at the weekend, naturally, because people have days off. So Saturday night is normally a really good time to queue for keys because there's lots of people posting their keys. Obviously, Wednesday is the best day, but also people are at work during the day. But all the good players wanting to get their vaults cleared. Same with raid. If you really want to get like a good raid group, make a raid on Wednesday. Okay. I don't have any potions here either as well. If I actually had some pots, we probably would have seen a higher overall as well. Maybe like 10.5 instead of 10.3. Something like that. That would have been pretty impressive. But yeah, I'm starting. We're consistently getting like 9 to 10 mil in big dungeons. But remember, now, before you people start commenting and going,
I actually did 9 million damage.
Remember what fucking dungeon you're in when I post these videos and you say,
I did more damage.
Remember, Ara-Kara and Operation Floodgate and Halls of Atonement are 3 dungeons where you are padding a lot. You are doing lots of AoE damage consistently. So your overall will be higher than Streets or Dawn, where you're not doing that. So the Streets and Dawn overalls are a lot lower. So bear that in mind. Keep the comments to yourself. Anyway. Nice bit of Stormwind motivational music in the background. So I decide if I'm going to pull this next boss, I'm almost certainly going to save Pillar for Breath for those first ads. So it makes sense for me to pop a little Pillar of Frost cooldown here, even though I only get half usage. Because I'm not going to save cast throughout the dungeon on that specific one, because I'm going to hold it anyway. So if I was going to hold it for Breath to be cast, I may as well get half a cast out of it now, and then be able to cast it when Breath comes back up. The key to doing a lot of damage in dungeons, is a common mistake that I see quite a lot, is people just not using their cooldowns enough. And people thinking they need to hold their cooldowns a lot more than they actually do. They definitely, you can, as a Frost DK, your 45-second burst, actually as a Deathbringer Frost DK, your 45-second burst is ridiculous. It, on average, on a raid encounter, on a single target raid encounter, your Pillar of Frost window will add like 8 to 9 mil burst. With Breath, your Breath makes it to maybe like 12 mil, maybe like 11, 12 mil burst. So that means Breath on its own, Breath while buffed adds 3 million damage, but Pillar on its own can add 9 mil, meaning you need to get as many Pillar casts off as possible and utilize every single global cooldown in Pillar as best you can. What I mean by that is generate a killer machine or spend one. If you do anything else in your Pillar of Frost window, you are losing a significant amount of damage. So anything you need to cast prior to your burst window, you must do first. Don't put yourself in a situation where you have to cast something that will suffer a global cooldown in your Pillar window. If you need to grip something, grip it first. If you need to move, if you need to do some CC, do it first. Then pop your cooldowns. Anyway, so this boss, yeah, we're actually fucking owning this boss. Like, this is the first pug I've been in where everybody's actually done the stack and move tactic, which is something I've always wanted people to do. So I'm super happy about that. Quickly step into the Spirit Link in case other people are in there. Then I realise it's just me. It's actually just me in there. But you can get the ads to go outside the hitbox of Avanox, and Avanox won't consume them. You need to be pretty close underneath the boss in order for the boss to actually make it happen. The trouble is, you do want to kind of position yourself so that you're in a line and all of your abilities cleave onto Avanox in a line. It's easier said than done, I'll tell you that, because your ad will most likely be outside. Your ad will most likely not be grouped with the other ones because you're on the very far outside trying to push your Glacial Advances and your Frost side and your Reaper's Mark, your Wave of Souls, the Breath of Sindragosa, all of that. You want to hit the ads and the boss, so you have to position yourself quite funnily. Quite weirdly, but we're disposing of this boss pretty fast. I mean, look, mate, take a look at that overall now. What the fuck? 12 milli. Crazy damn. If this is the damage you're doing now at 711, what damage will we be doing at 720 with full mythic gear? Nuts. And then, I guarantee you they're going to do the same thing they did last season, where they allow you to upgrade your gear again. In that case, it's going to be like 730. In that case, it's like, damn, what damage are we going to be pumping with there? Because if I look at it, on the PTR, these were the numbers we were doing on the PTR now. But you were scaled down to 711 or 710 anyway. Or was it 715? I don't remember. But, yeah, no deaths so far. Nice. The first boss, the first pull of the dungeon was handled really well. Kept things, we actually CC'd the Trilling Attendant, and then as soon as one of them was dead, we put the next one in. It's better to be safe than sorry. Our timer on this key was fucking amazing. Anyway, so with the Hulking Blood Guard, I have all my cooldowns coming back. So I'm going to do a quick AMZ so that I don't have to do it during my burst, and then send everything. I've even got 16 stacks of my Nether Prism. Nether Prism and keys is unbelievable. Nether Prism and keys is actually fucking sick. I almost died. I almost got hit by that. You see that? Yeah, it's so good because at the end of a pull or the end of a fight or like end of your Pillar window, you're just consistently stacking, and you might be saving your cooldowns for the next pack if something's dying, which means you might have a chance of getting 2 or 3 more extra stacks on top of that. So you normally have quite a few ready to go in your breath windows. I have a nice little weak aura there showing me it's stacking up, and then it also glows when I have quite a high amount. And seeing that nice little glow makes me feel good because I know I'm about to pump. yeah, I want to try and edit my Empower Room Weapon Weaker as well to glow for more conditions when it's a good time to use, to help you guys or help you people that have my Weaker pack. So I understand like, oh shit, okay, this is a reminder, I need to be pressing a Power Room Weapon. So for me, I actually love it. I like having the little glow on a Power Room Weapon because it does serve as a reminder, and it serves as a way of being like, right, you know this is the right indicator, you know this is the right scenario to do this, here's an indicator for it. Okay, moving on. We have about 17 seconds before all of our burst lines up again, and we need to make sure that our burst is always compacted together. Pillar, trinket, breath, always done at the same time, because if you do your trinket too early, like if you have a cursed stone idol and you cast that far too early, you could end up missing out on about half of the trinket buff. If you did like cursed stone, then empower, then obliterate, and then burst, or if you did, even if you did empower, then cursed stone idol, that's one global that you could one global inside your burst window that won't be affected by stone idol. So you definitely want to pair things together a bit more often. Anyways, we want to focus the screaming beetle thing, the alarming beetle first. Even though you've got the Hulking Blood Guard here, it's making everything take less damage, that screaming fucking thing has very low health and is worth just nuking through the damage reduction. Definitely. Then obviously back to the Hulking Blood Guard and kill it. So I think in most cases you can still do Glacial Advance and Frost Scythe, but the only Hulking Blood Guard that I wouldn't suggest that for is that, you know, the one just before the last boss where you have the two Bloods Overseers as well. Don't do Frost Scythe on that, because the damage compared to Obliterate on 3 targets is like it's a bit more. It's like 50% more, something like that. But obviously everything's taking so much less damage. You may as well focus all that damage into the Blood Guard. Okay, yeah. As far as cooldown usages has been this key, I've had a really nice time lining everything up together. Our first death of the key as well just then. Not too sure why actually. I wasn't really paying attention, but it's still very smooth from here on out, and the timing was bloody good. Okay, I wanted to put a little bit more damage into this guy. I wasn't too sure what the tank was going to do. Obviously, it's a pug. Never played with these people before, but focusing this sentry stag shell, and just doing my full burst. So it even pops off on the stag shell, so it's quickly disposed of. Don't you worry, mate. 33k strength from our Nether prism trinket. It's not super stacked, it's just decently stacked. Then we get these guys in as well. I'm going to grip that mage in a sec. God, I love being a DK. I love being able to grip shit in. You know what? Gripping is actually a DPS increase because it's cleave. And it's cleave you wouldn't be doing if you couldn't grip it in. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? It does make sense. Thank you, Robbly. Okay, I've got 5 seconds on pillar. What do I do here? I don't actually remember. I just did this key. No, I don't pop, I don't think. No, I don't. I saw the those guys fuck off over there, so I thought, okay, now I'm going to hold. Because I'm probably not going to send breath until the boss anyway, so it's like, yeah, okay, fuck it. I hold, no problem. They're pinging that guy as if I haven't already fucking seen him. Terrible. We get the 5 stack of Bone Grinder off in time. That's that little weak aura there that's glowing blue in the middle of my screen. And in time for Reaper's Mark to explode, which means instead of doing 20 mil damage, it's done 24. Big DPS increase. So you can see here, just the pillar window does shitloads of damage. I mean, to be fair, it's 4 million damage because 4 million over as no wait, is that 4 million? Is that 4 billion? 4 billion. 4 billion damage overall done so because we've been chaining the pack, but doing more and more damage as we're going on. And a little bit of tank tech here, which is nice, where he's going to pull the boss, so we don't have to do that pack, and we'll get teleported down. And aim the impale completely in the opposite direction as well. What a Chad. Big Chad. Okay, so we've got full burst, let's have it. Ad was spawning a little bit too late for my liking, so I wasn't going to wait for that. But I am going to have it spawn right on top of me so I get that second stack of Frozen Dominion. Not bad. Obviously, I'm bursting, I'm doing my breath, I've got cleave, I'm not going to bother. You don't really need to focus the web mage here, it'll die to cleave anyway, just keep it interrupted and you'll be fine. Okay, so here I like to use my AMS when I get the dot, just to stop all that initial dot damage. Obviously, it doesn't stop the pool from spawning underneath you, but I find that kind of weird, you know. If you can AMS that, surely you just AMS the fact that it spawns a puddle. Or you don't know. There it is. I didn't realise, but when you step into those little swarms, you also get the dot again. Not that it will spawn another one, but it just does fucking damage. Okay, so we've got a nice little pacemaker and pillar proc at the same time there. I like that. The only thing that sucks is obviously having loads of crit in your obliteration window is not that good. You want loads of mastery in your obliteration window because crit isn't really going to help you. Because you can generate those procs, you don't need to get them naturally, which is what crit is really good for. So grip that over for the cleave. I'm sat on 2 stacks from power. I want to get that spent as soon as possible before I then cast my Rhyme. Now I'm focusing the web mage here because I'm not bursting, I'm not cleaving, so I know I'm not going to be able to passively kill it very well, so I should probably just target it. However, I do have breath. Let's go. Now, because I have breath, I know that my cleave damage is a little bit better with Remorseless Winter, with breath, so I just main target the boss instead. Yeah, you can tell this group is pretty experienced players because the way they're aiming these things and the fact that like nobody is dying to anything is cool. Very good. It is cool. Yeah, of course it's cool. Fucking hell. Some top-notch commentary from your boy Obly, yeah. So I walk into that and the dot almost fucking kills me, dude. Look at that. I got chunked to shit. Hate that. Anyways, boss is almost dead. Doing 5 mil overall. Very good, very good. I find it in higher keys, it's so much easier to do more damage, like more overall damage, because things just last so much longer. Whereas in lower keys, things die very fast. So your overall looks a little bit, I don't know. Your overall looks a little bit worse in lower keys because of that. In higher keys, easy peasy. Anyway, AMS the dot damage, super good. Now, the boss is at kind of a decent HP, and in my mind, you know what, he's low enough to just focus and fuck the web mage off. So I'm not doing any cleave abilities. I'm just going to do my single target spells like Frost Strike and Obliterate. Dude, when you can't speak very good, like me, trying to say, oh, I thought I died there. I thought I was dead there. Genuinely thought I was a dead bean there. But I was fine. I got caught in that route just as that impale was coming and I was fucking scrambling. Anyway, yeah, no, when you can't speak very good, I'm trying to say Frost Strike, Frost Scythe all the time. It's like a, what do they call it? A conundrum? Is that when, or a tongue twister? What's a conundrum? Doesn't matter. We have breath here. I'm just going to auto this guy just to get some procs, just to kind of start stacking. Quickly use my blinding sleep to get out of this pool thing that I was stuck in, and then burst straight afterwards. So we've got 40k strength off of the trinket. Then we slam. Yeah, I actually really enjoy using this Nether prism a lot more than I thought I would. The Sims were saying that it's not like the best trinket. Yeah, the Sims weren't saying it was an amazing trinket, but to be honest, I think if you're a good player, you can time it in better scenarios. You can time it so that it looks a lot better than it does on the Sims. I was convinced that it wouldn't be good. Well, no, I knew it would be good. I knew it would be good, but I didn't think it would be BIS. But now I'm playing with it. I really like it. I think the Nether prism could be BIS. I mean, the fact that it's such a flexible trinket as well makes it very, very good. For Nether prism, like DKs are one of the best options to have this trinket on because you can be so flexible with your cooldowns. Right, here we go. We don't have a massive burst. We just have pillar here, but our pillar window. Look, we're ramping that damage up. Climbing. Up to 20 mil now. Just pillar alone, pillar and DB alone. Absolutely skyrocket your damage up. Obviously, bad breath, be a bit better. But it's just further example of how you should be using your pillar windows as many times as you possibly can. I would say as a good general rule for a new player, if your breath is going to come back in 15 seconds, you can hold pillar. If it's single target, 15 seconds on breath, you can hold your pillar. Fine. If it's AoE, don't bother. Send your pillar straight away and then use your breath on the next one. make breath weight. Don't ever really make pillar weight if you can. So here, we've got the wing carriers. So I opt not to breathe here because these wing carriers don't live very long, and the reinforced drones are almost dead. I didn't feel like we were going to be doing these specific mobs for very long, and I'm glad I didn't use my breath, honestly, because I didn't realise the next pull we were going to do. I thought we were actually going to do the boss, which I didn't mind saving breath for the boss just to make the boss go a bit faster. But because I kind of pushed my breath back by 45 seconds, I also made it stronger with the Nether prism. And we are actually going to go down and do those three, the hulking bodyguard and the 2 overseers in a second, which actually plays very nicely. That is proper good. Tank's about to jump down. The wing carrier is still not dead, this specific one. And I wasn't too sure if it was going to snap or if it was going to do something weird. So I kind of thought like, oh, we should kill it, but then everyone else left, so I left too. They jump, I jump. I'm going to target the hulking bloodguard here and give it everything. That one on bone grinder stack, lost that, and because of that, didn't time my Reaper's Mark correctly, which is kind of annoying, and I knew that was bad at the moment I was doing it. So I started a frost striking, and then I realised, oh, what am I doing? I'm an idiot. I should be obliterating frost striking. So then I just started doing that instead. Once that's dead, obviously these guys are so much easier to take out, so that's your number 1 priority when you're facing these guys. I don't really like this pull too much, but honestly, if you have cooldowns to kill that bloodguard really quick, it's actually fucking fine. Like, this is a free pack, to be honest. It's basically the same as the packs on the left and right. 2 overseers. So you can see we have 8 minutes left of the dungeon. Killing these 2 overseers will leave us with 1 more mob that we need to kill to time it or to complete the progression of the enemy forces. So we'll deal with that afterwards. But I'm gonna focus the overseers, even though we've got the boss here now. Honestly, these overseers can be a real pain when you do chain them with the boss. Having all of those erupted webs when cultivating poison is out is annoying. So I tried to get them disposed of very quickly. Okay, and then oh sorry, I just had to swallow. Okay, so I'm always keeping a Death Advance charge for this. I like to do Death Advance quite early because it's a very long buff. So the earlier I do it, the sooner I'll have that charge back. So I don't want to cast it last minute because then that's going to be a longer period of time between casts where I'm not going to have it. So if I do have to cast it one more time, for some reason need to run out really fast, because I cast Death Advance quite early before, I will have it back in time. Now with these cultivated poisons, you as a DK, you can deal with these really nicely. Also these blood workers and the bloods that spawn, the black bloods there, you can cleave onto those with your Remorseless Winter and get stacks. That is some min-maxing you can do on this. Always look for something that you can hit with your Remorseless Winter. To be honest, I'm not doing a very good job of doing it on this specific one. So here, Death Advance quite early. Get out, and when I see it gets to about 2 seconds, that's when I leave. But what I'm also doing at that point is doing all of my close range ability spells and keeping things like Rhyme, because when I'm away from the boss, I can cast it then instead, rather than cast nothing. Okay, so we've got Pillar and Reaper back. Don't know why I'm not, there you go. Don't know why I'm not casting it. I'm cleaving those things, those little blood workers, with my Remorseless Winter, giving me 3 stacks, then this black blood spawns, giving me 4 stacks. And then that worker came out of nowhere, gave me my 5th stack. I love it. Very nice. But you always have an AMS for every other cultivated poison. Don't know why I got pinged there. I didn't do anything. Oh, you see how close? I almost got hit by that little green paw. What am I doing? What am I, little silly sausage boy? Anyway, it doesn't matter. I didn't get hit. That's the main thing. Moving on. So we have breath coming back. Definitely going to use it. I mean, look at the boss HP. Fucking 40%. We have 5 minutes to do this, so we have so much time. DH dies. I'm 4 stacks of bone grinder. So sad. Because I was ready to burst and I had 4 stacks. So I could have my 5th bone grinder, have my full buff consumption on the 1st second of my burst. But because he died, I had to res him, which meant that my buff lost. Thanks very much. Anyway, I can't be too mad about the overall. We're still slamming at 10.5 million right now. And I've got no potion, so it is my fault. Okay, early DA cast here. Wait till about 2 seconds. There we go. Move out. I saved my rhyme prop for when I was outside of the boss's casting. What? Outside of the boss's hitbox. So I'm not just sitting there like a lemon doing nothing. It's a long fight though. The ethical person in me is always obliterating and frost striking to get this boss killed quicker, but my god, it would be very, very nice to do some cheeky frost sides on those black bloods and get some ad pad, but it's not worth it. Not worth it. Not worth it at all. Okay, boss is almost dead here. I'm casting killing machines as soon as I get them, even if they're on one stack, cast it straight away. It's more damage for you to cast one stack and then consume another stack in the next global, as opposed to consuming 2 killing machine stacks in one global. Because I mean, unless you know you're going to get 2 stacks straight afterwards, or you're stacking bone grinder, that's the only way where it would actually be worth it. Because you do like 10% more damage in that global, but the global afterwards has nothing paired to it, and then that's not very good. However, now we're going to do a full burst here, fucking well good. Finish the key off, a 12 mil AoE burst to finish us on 10.32 million. I should really start logging these dungeons so you guys can have a look through this, but yeah, I don't know why I'm not doing it. It's stupid. Anyway, let's quickly have a look at the overall damage breakdown. There you go. If that's interesting to you, you have it. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please like, please subscribe if you want to stay up to date with DK stuff. I'm posting near enough every day. And then if you're interested in coaching or my UI, hit me up on Discord. Anyways, thanks very much. Thanks everyone. Have a brilliant rest of your day. Yeah, that's it. Bye.